Hey guys, welcome back. New theory, new deck, new Flareon, another Flareon. For those of you who are looking to make some changes, I think these might be a good step in the right direction. As was recommended and put into the last video, we had the Cramorant and we had the Capture Energy. Now, essentially, the changes we're making are we're scrapping the Volcarona. We're going to go less aggressive with our discard. We're going to use Marnie's instead of the Professor's Research. Since we don't really have a way to get the energies back out of the discard pile, we're just running a crap load of them here. 22 fires, 4 heats. The heat energy are a nice little bonus, HP bump of sorts. Here we go. So we get an extra 20 HP, so it might save us from a knockout. You never know. And it's going to work all the same as a fire energy. The only thing is maybe it gets discarded because of special energy, but we haven't seen that happen yet. We got these guys here, the single strike energies, to add that extra 20 damage. A lot of times we're hitting, or at least I found I was hitting, so like 200 instead of the 220 necessary, or the 210 necessary, or the 320. So this extra 20 damage I think is going to help. That's going to come in handy, and it's another energy that counts as a discard. Our Flareon VMAX only needs the 1 fire energy to use as max detonate, so pretty good on that front. Flaming Breath, we can use whatever type of energy. We get colorless there. Pretty cool. If I could run 2 more Flareons instead of Cramorants, I probably would, but we can only run 4 Flareon Vs. Ideally, we want to start with the Flareon V and get them powered up as fast as possible, so we can start VMAXing and slapping with these big energy attacks. But worst case scenario, we're going to end up with a Cramorant V, and we can search our deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand, and then shuffle our deck. So hopefully this will get us set up for the next turn, or we get a Capture Energy. We can attach that to the Cramorant or the Flareon to get another Flareon going. Let's try it out. I played 2 games before starting the recording. Both went very well, so we'll see if those were a fluke or if this is a new and improved Flareon VMAX deck. Let's go. Alright, let's get into a game here. Try out our Flareon modified deck. Magic Carpet Ride. Very clever. We won the coin flip, and we would like to go first. Alright, we got our Flareon V and a VMAX right off the bat. We definitely did not want to go first. I don't know why I said that or did that. I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll be alright regardless. We got our Peony anyway, so we don't really need to charge up. Draw another card. Would have been nice if that was a elemental batch, but we got one anyway. Sweet. Here we go. Victini V. Haven't seen that in a while. Alright, good thing that we did get the elemental badge because he's running hammers just like everyone and their dog. Very annoying. Alright. Not exactly what we want. So I think we single strike. And I think, should we VMAX? Let's VMAX. Whatever. We're not going to do the energy attached, which might have been a good idea. If he gets another hammer, we could put ourselves in a bad position. I don't want the Cramorant on the bench. I would actually prefer if the Cramorant could be discarded because we don't need him anymore. He's just to access our Flareons. We got a switch, couple switches, which is nice. Worst case scenario, he flare shots us, which I think is alright. Or she, I guess. else I should be expecting coming out of this deck. Path to the Peak. Flareon loves Path to the Peak because it is going to do absolutely nothing to us. I mean, I could play copies of it if I really wanted to. This is alright. We can retreat our Flareon anyway because we got a couple switches. So we got lucky on that front. Oh yeah, baby. It is time to smack daddy that Victini. Big old 420. Another reason why you always use the single strike energies, so you can 420 blaze it with max detonate. We're going to get spreading flamed. Alright, so we can start powering up our second Flareon here. We might as well put the heat energy on him, give him some extra HP. We want to max detonate again. We got tons of energy in our pile here, so there would have been nice if we had been hitting against something like 310, 320 HP Pokemon. We can one hit KO them, not leave them with 10 HP or 20 HP or whatever. Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if that was the strongest deck that we were playing against, but I'm going to count it. Alright, here we go. Game at number 2. Looking for opponent. Clark Kent 2099. Interesting name. Would we like to go first? No, we want to go second. Just in case we have to use our Flareon's attack to power up. If we don't have an elemental badge, usually pretty handy. Or a way to get an elemental badge, rather. It's nice that we can play like a minimal amount of these, so we have more room for energies. Just if we need to search out with Peony, then we can. So here we go. We got a Flareon off the start again. We don't have to use our Cramorant. Poor little guy. He'll be a hero someday. It's mostly just so we have 6 basic Pokemon. Otherwise, I guess we could just sort of forfeit a lot of extra cards potentially at the start if we just really wanted to wait for the Flareon, which might be a better option. We'll see. We'll see how Cramorant does. We may or may not replace him with some energies, 4 fire energies or something. If he's dead weight, which he shouldn't be very heavy. If he's got those hollow bird bones. Alright, so let's heat energy, might as well. And I think we're gonna leave it like that, and then next turn we can we'll be able to Peony to evolve our Flareon. I don't think we're at any threat here. We shouldn't get beat up. Going up against some sort of grass deck. A Flapple deck. It's gonna do 160 fighting tackles to us. The extra damage to Pokemon V. Single prizers. Alright, we're okay. This is just fine. We got another Flareon to start loading up. And we have our Flareon VMAX that we needed. So he did disrupt what our original plan was, but it's okay because we can load up here. I'm gonna put our Flareon V on the bench as a backup, and now we're gonna start swinging like crazy. Oh my! Only 100 damage. That is a sad day when you can't knock out a Snorlax with 130 HP. Just needed that one more energy. There are all our elemental badges in the deck. and our evolution incense. So there should still be one more in there, unless it's okay that we tossed out the Cramorant, but unfortunate that we only had one energy end up in here. When we can, even if we don't need to use the capture energy to get more Flareons, we probably do want to, just so we can take them out of the deck, so that we have more chances of hitting fire here. That's okay. If he leaves the Snorlax in the active, we are a-okay with that, because we can knock it out and attach energy at the same time. This also allows us the next turn after this to retreat, since we'll have enough energy on him to back out into our Flareon VMAX if we need to do some big damage. Or we can just 120 with our Flareon V in the active, since Flapple is not very beefy. Oh, we got the Regidrago. We got the Cherubi. This is like a pre-release kit that we're playing against. Modified pre-release. Okay, we'll take that. We get a fresh hand with this Marnie. We get another Flareon out of the deck to put on the bench. Not that we need to. So you can see we're not as aggressively discarding things as with the Professor's Research versions of this deck that I played previously. We're just kind of setting up our Flareons and swinging. We don't have the Volcarona to toss those fire energies back in. I think it seemed really good on paper, but the games usually don't go long enough to warrant the Volcarona at the end to try and salvage your deck. And the Volcarona is sort of like a downfall if you end up starting with it instead of a Flareon, since he's not very good until you do have a ton of energy in the discard pile. Also frees us up to use some really cool special energies. Boss's orders would be really cool right now, so we can take out these Regidrago threats. But we're not going to get one of those. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully we get a Flareon VMAX here. Would be nice. Get a Peony, which is cool. So that'll help us set up. So he's going to do 240 damage to us. So we really kind of don't want to have the Flareon V in the active, since it's going to get one shot. But I think maybe we just sacrifice him. We're just going to sacrifice him. Another Peony. Would have been nice if that was a boss. Here we go. So the Regidrago, if he has a fire energy, is going to definitely knock us out. There's another one getting ready to set up. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to try and protect this if he doesn't have the fire energy, because we are going to kill it. And we will have to retreat or get a switch maybe with our Peony. We could capture energy this turn too. If we do have one more Flareon in our deck, then we can pull that out, or even a Cramorant. I guess we could take a Cramorant and toss it on the bench. I don't think we're really in danger. Other than, I guess, the Cramorant will get one shot by the Regidrago. There's the fire energy. Is he going to attack us today? It's the real question. If we're gonna lose this Flareon, it's not a big deal. We got the Flareon VMAX that's gonna take 2 shots afterwards anyway, so he's got 340 HP. guy is very much taking his time. I don't know how. He doesn't have very many cards, so he shouldn't have very many options. Alright, Flareon, it is your time to shine. My VMAX-y boy. Alright, let's capture energy. Get a Flareon. And then we get Peony. We can take the Evolution Incense. And we can Marnie. To try and get some cool other things. We still have 2 Flareon VMAXs in the deck. I think maybe we Marnie. I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to boss. Let's Marnie for next turn. We got our 1 Evolution Incense, so we can start powering up one of these guys, so at least they take 2 hits to KO as well. Be nice to get this guy evolved, so he's protected a little bit better, just in case he bosses us. We're not really concerned about the energies here for our top deck, because we only need 2 out of 5. So the odds of not hitting 2 to KO these Regidragos is pretty small. Not exactly the forte of this deck, since we want to mostly KO big stuff with those big max detonates. But we can hang in there with the little Regidrago single prizers as well. It makes for a very long game when you're taking 1 prize at a time. But sometimes you gotta put it in. So it looks like we should have, in hindsight, grabbed our boss there, because we've got another Marnie anyway, but no way to know that. He's still got to knock out 2 of our Pokemon. A little bit worried that the Flareon V is going to go down easy compared to these 2. Even if this guy takes damage, we can kind of hide him on the bench if we get the second Flareon VMAX set up, which is always nice. Got 24 cards in our deck. Interested to see if games like this that do go long, if we're going to get into a little bit of trouble with our deck running out before we can take enough prizes. So here, yeah, the boss would have been really, really nice, but not much we can do. We got a switch there that we don't necessarily want or need yet. We're gonna Marnie. Here we go. We start powering up our second VMAX here. 300 dams. We don't really need anything else. Boss's orders would be really nice so that we can target something down, but it looks like he's going to play him anyway. I don't think there's any way out for him here. He might have fire energy there though, so we might attack our Flareon VMAX. Hopefully he doesn't have a boss. Sonia. So here we go. He's going to find his fire energy with the Sonia. Oh, no. He's going to get 2 Regidragos, I guess. Which is weird because he doesn't really need both. Although I think you might have to get... Yeah, you have to either get 2 basic Pokemon or 2 energy, so... I guess that was the only option for him. Alright, alright. Does he have the fire energy? He's powering up his Regidrago on the bench. He's going to need a boss's orders as well, because if Flareon gets hit here, It's not the end of the world. Alright, we are protected on all 3 Flareons. And so maybe we let that Flareon take a dive. It's going to be scary here because he's got 2 retreats, so we might get in a bad spot that way. We don't have a switch. Be nice to draw one. There's our 500 dams. Good night, Regidrago. Oh, we get the boss's orders. That's nice. Although it doesn't really matter at this point because anything that we're going to hit is going to die. With either this guy or this guy. A switch would have been nicer. Oh, I guess he has conceded. Unfortunate, but good for us. Alright, let's play one more game here. Flareon, Cramorant. Although mostly Flareon. Just call it the Flareon deck. I don't know, we might have to take those Cramorants out. I think we have enough other means to get the Flareons that we need, at least it seems. Let's get it. Dragon Grass. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're probably playing against the same deck again. Probably playing against the old Regidrago. Oh, here we go. We're gonna see Cramorant in action. Unfortunately, we don't have the capture energy, which would be nice, but I guess we'll see the viability of Cramorant getting Flareons for us. Never mind, we have a Flareon right here. So I guess we might as well switch him in. Poor Cramorant not getting to show his stuff. We'll use the switch now just in case because he probably has a Marnie in there somewhere. And if we lose our hand, could be bad. We do want the elemental badge, would be really, really nice right now so that we can attack next turn. Of course, we're playing against the Cherubi. It seems like there's a Regidrago fever tonight. Everyone playing it. All right. We can do 40 damage, unfortunately, to the Cherubi and attach an energy. It's not going to knock him out, so I guess we're better off just evolving and attaching an energy, and then we'll hit the done button. A little bit lackluster in terms of things that we could do that turn. It's too bad we didn't have a single strike energy. We could have knocked out the Cherubi and attached an energy at the same time. Although that kind of puts us in a bad spot if he somehow manages to power up the Regidrago. Then he can knock out the Flareon V rather than the VMAX. So I think it's pretty important to get those Flareon VMAXs maxed sooner rather than later. Creating a 2-shot scenario instead of the 1-shot. Worst thing you want to get done to you in this scenario is a 1-prizer knocking out your 2-prizer. These are 3-prize, but at least it takes 2 attacks to knock them out. Ooh, our elemental badge that we no longer need. A capture energy would be nice, so we can start powering up another Flareon. So at this point, we could even attach an energy to that other Flareon. It looks like we are about to get slapped by a Regidrago. So hopefully, we draw a Flareon V or a... Dang. Might be in a bad spot. Let's use our Peony. We can get a Marnie for next turn. And we can get Marnie for next turn. And maybe we get a I don't know what we get. We're in a really bad spot. Because he's almost certainly gonna have this to attack with. We might as well take a fire energy out of our discard. Since we don't have Volcarona anymore. Alright, let's swing. Probably should have attached to the Cramorant. Although I think we have too many pieces that need to be moved in order to successfully. We're gonna need to start building next turn here and hope that he draws flat or isn't able to piece together enough Regidragos. It's gonna be a close one. It's gonna take 2 prizes or 3 prizes here. He's gonna take another 2 prizes here because our Cramorant is pretty vulnerable. I think maybe we Marnie first. We're just gonna have to sacrifice the Cramorant. Ooh, there we go. A switch would be really nice, but I guess not necessary because we're gonna have to sacrifice our Cramorant. We might as well get a fire energy, because why not? Done. Alright, Cramorant, see you later. Poor little guy. Hopefully he doesn't have a boss's orders to put our Flareon into the active. Because our Flareon is our last hope. And that is not a good sign. We still have 5 prizes that we need to take, and we have a not ready Flareon V. Although, not the end of the world, because we only need 1 more energy on him. We just need to evolve him into a Flareon VMAX, which shouldn't be an issue with the Peony here. And we can capture energy another one, but I mean, at that point we're going to be juggling back and forth. Never mind. We had the boss, and we are GG easied. That's it. That's all. That's the end of the match. There's nothing that we can do now because he's going to one-shot whatever we put out. So we'll give him the old concession. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. I think this might be the best version yet of the Flareon VMAX deck. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think, should I get rid of the Cramorant? Really debating it. Maybe I should look into some other Pokemon to start off with. See if we can get rolling a little bit better than the Cramorant. I think having to use the attack on him is almost never necessary, at least from what I've seen. So, you guys have a good one. See you next time.